Hi, my name is Lauren Evans, and I will be debating on whether or not the United States should be involved militarily in the Middle East. I think that they should be. I think that there are four main reasons that they should be involved in the Middle East, and I think that the first one is just based on human rights. In the Middle East right now, human trafficking is extremely prominent. It is a huge issue, and in order for these men and women and children who are being involved in the sex trafficking to be protected, they have to have somebody who is there protecting them. I think that our military is somebody who is capable of doing that and who should continue to do so on behalf of these people who are being involved in the sex trafficking. I think the second thing is fighting terrorism. We have had issues in the United States regarding terrorism, especially with people from the Middle East. So I think that the United States military actively being over in the Middle East is a way to prevent the terrorism by eliminating it from the source rather than allowing it to migrate over into the United States and affect all of the citizens who are living in the United States. That way the conflict ends where it starts instead of possibly progressing from the Middle East and into the United States. I think that would better serve the citizens who are living here. I think that the third one is containing borders. So they don't really have super strict borders over in the Middle East, which means that it's very easy for one group to migrate into another state, and they're migrating their nation over into this state, which is something that the United States is able to control so long as they have arrived at that location prior to the terrorist group or the militant group who could be attempting to take over that area. And I think that the fourth one is probably the most significant one, especially since it's regarding a natural resource, which would be oil. I think that considering the United States is now starting to produce more oil than they have in the past, they still aren't able to produce enough. So the United States is still asking for 16% of their oil to be coming from the Middle East. So with 16% of the oil that we're using here in the United States coming from the Middle East, I think that it's worth our military protecting it. They're protecting that resource so that we will still be able to have access to it so that nobody is claiming that resource before we are able to access it. In regards to where this oil is located too, there is one area, I might pronounce it incorrectly, but the Strait of Hormuz, that is a significant spot for oil to be transported. So that's where 30% of the world's seaborne oil is passing. If that is taken over or if it is closed down, then that is 30% of the world's oil that is being either taken, it could just be rerouted, it could make things a lot more complicated for the people who are relying on that 30%. For some nations, that could be where the majority of their oil is coming from too, so it's very important not just for the United States, but for other countries to be protecting this particular strait. So in regards to oil again, if the U.S. military is over there and they are actively involved, they could be preventing any militant group from taking over a prominent place for oil. So they could be protecting these oil wells and making sure that we are still being able to access them. And I wanted to finish my debate talking again about human rights and about protecting the people who are over there who aren't involved in any of these militant groups, who are innocent civilians who are being targeted by these militant groups. I think that because they don't really have the strongest military in the Middle East, it's not super strong, it's not organized, they aren't very well trained. So I think that having soldiers who are well organized and who are well trained over there protecting these people is extremely important. They might not be United States citizens, but they are still people, and we do still need to protect their human rights. Thank you.